Ohio State Senator Jon Husted's campaign spokesperson reached out with a comment following the Marietta protest of Husted on Wednesday. Spokesperson for the Husted campaign, Amy Natos, said in a press release in May that supporters of Sherrod Brown are being hypocritical in their support. In an email sent to reporter Casty Fury, Natos said, quote, "The Wexners have given to dozens of candidates from both sides of the aisle, including Sherrod Brown. Unlike Brown, our campaign donated all available funds to an anti-human trafficking charity, and Jon Husted voted to release the Epstein files. Brown's ads are hypocritical and raise more important questions. Why does Sherrod Brown refuse to donate the funds he received from Epstein's associates? Why did Sherrod Brown sit on the Epstein files during his 32 years in Washington? He owes Ohioans answers." End quote.